So you get defunded police, I get private security worth $1.2 million. Sounds fair, right? How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the squad, which consists of AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, and Cori Bush, among others. They pushed the whole defund the police narrative for quite a while when they got elected, going back to 2019 when they were first running, and now 2020, 2021 up until the present. Defund the police. Let's take money away from them. Let's give it to community policing and all this and that and the third. They pushed that narrative. However, since they began running for Congress and since taking office, the squad has spent $1.2 million in private security. And when I say the squad spent that much, I'm really talking about two people, mostly. Cori Bush, who has spent over $700,000 in private security monies, and AOC, she spent about $250,000 or more, a little bit less perhaps, in private security costs. Now, that's very interesting. How are they going to tell us to defund the police and you don't need the police and you don't need guns and you don't got to protect yourself when they spend endless, I'm talking about basically writing a blank check to private security firms? Look, I would be in favor of defunding police as well if everybody had the ability to have private security. Why not? If every regular normie, every person walking the earth was able to get private security and it wasn't a big deal with the cost, then why do you need police? However, not everyone is able to have that. You got to have some kind of security. You got to have some kind of police and law enforcement, and you got to have these things in order for society to function properly, especially in a first world country like ours. Now, before I go any further into it, we're going to get into an article and we're going to watch a video from 2 years ago. This is when a lot of the controversy around the private security spending as it relates to Cori Bush started. You got to hear her response and pay close attention to the specific number they said. They said a number right there, which has, of course, ballooned, but that specific number is going to come into focus a little bit later. If you want to see this clip in full without my commentary, link, as always, will be in the description. If you're on IG, visit the link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Let you go. Let me ask you about something else aside from the moratorium. You faced some criticism in recent weeks over your push to defund the police. Campaign records show that you spent roughly $70,000 on private security, and some critics say that move is hypocritical. What's your response to those critics?
Before she responds, so remember, he said you have spent $70,000, $70,000, 70,000, and this is in August of 2021, 2 years ago. Remember that? Now let's hear her response.
They would rather I die? You would rather me die? Is that what you want to see? You want to see?
Well, I mean, if you are you asking a rhetorical question? I'm not sure what you want to, but let's continue.
See me die? You know, because that could be the alternative. So either I spent $70,000 on private security over the last few months, and I'm here standing now and able to speak, able to help save 11 million people from being evicted, or I could possibly have a death attempt on my life. And we're also talking about the same exact people who say horrible things about me, who lie to get to build up their base. And then because they lie about me, I receive death threats. Now, they don't address the fact that I receive death threats after they go on air and say horrible things about me. But then they want to say, oh, but she needs private security. I have private security because my body is worth being on this planet right now. How
about my body? How about anybody else's body? I mean, are you the only one with ops out there? Are you the only one with enemies out there? Because you're Cori Bush and you are a high profile person and you are at risk of things happening to you that should not happen to you. And I'm not saying they should, so don't get misunderstood. But just because you are you and you have certain risks from being out here as a public figure doesn't mean you're special. does that mean that you should be privy to having private security that you can afford off the taxpayer's dime, mind you, but I cannot have a gun. I cannot have the police come to help me out, come to protect me, come to investigate crimes after they happen. I can't have that, but you can have that. Now, I will link to this whole thing in the box if you want to see it in full, so you can accuse me of saying, cutting things off and not showing the full context. But here's the newer article right here. Check it out. AOC squad spent $1.2 million in campaign cash, so your donations or whatever, on private security despite calls to defund the police. All right, $1.2 million. Now, this, I think, again, starts in 2019 and up until right now, 2023. I'm not sure how much was spent each year, but $1.2 million on private security is more than most normies would ever be able to afford in their life for such things. 99.99% of people in this world would never be able to do something like that, ever. But anyway, let's get into the article to see what's going on here. Socialist Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and her 8 comrade squad of anti-cop lawmakers have shelled out more than $1.2 million in campaign funds on private security since taking office, records show. And of course, this will be in the box, so you can check out all the links for yourself. Leading the way is Cori Bush from Missouri, a Democrat, of course, who has reportedly spent, I probably want to say right there, more than $730,000 on private security, including $75,000 she funneled to her husband. And Ocasio-Cortez from New York, whose $272,000 plus tab includes security upgrades at her district offices. Now, before we go any further in the article, remember I told you to remember Cori Bush spent $70,000, and that was a question back in August of 2021, 2 years ago. Now, this right here says she spent $75,000 that got funneled to her own husband. So my question is this: was it $70,000 that was spent back in 2021 for her private security to an external firm, meaning not her husband? Or is that money right there that I'm highlighting, is that the money that was called into question last time? So not only should that be called into question because you want to defund the police and you buying private security, it also should be called into question because you're doing the whole Ilhan Omar thing. You're taking campaign funds and giving it right back to yourself, although it's not your personal slush fund. But hey, if your husband sets up a security business, some random fake LLC, and you pay that LLC $75,000, that's a tax write-off, and he's able to get the money in his pocket, and y'all can spend that on household expenses. That's kind of what it seems like. So not only are you getting private security worth more than $700,000, you also gave your husband the salary of $75,000 to put back into your own household. Are you paying off student loans with that? Are you paying off car debts with that? Are you paying off mortgages with that? Are you sending your kids to private school with that? Like, what are you doing with that money? That's my question, but different story. I digress. Let's keep on going. Bush's campaign spending on security upgrades predates her 2021 arrival in the House. Since she first ran for Congress in 2019, she's paid $736,748 for security services. Among the benefactors of our donors' largesse was St. Louis-based Peace Security, a pro-gun, right-wing private security firm that racked up $380,947 despite reportedly promoting the Second Amendment, in sharp contrast to Democratic Socialist Bush anti-gun campaign messaging. So, okay, you're paying the security firm to protect you. They are right-wing, pro-gun, pro-Second Amendment. You, on the other hand, anti-gun, anti-Second Amendment, anti-America, quite frankly. So why give them so much money to secure you? Maybe, just maybe, these guys are going to do a good job of securing you, which is the exact thing that Americans want for themselves. Your regular normie American is going to be pro-gun, pro-Second Amendment, pro-America, and we want guns to protect ourselves, as is the Second Amendment right. But you're against that, but yet you pay them $380,000. What's going on with that? It's so hypocritical. A lot of these people, they just say things because it helps them get elected, but they don't really believe it. Not truly. Her campaign also paid military veteran Courtney Merritt, who Bush married in February, $75,000 to provide private security work for the Congresswoman. Bush was slapped with an FEC complaint in March after it was revealed her campaign paid her now husband, so maybe they weren't at the time married anyway, to provide security, even though he didn't have the required license. Yeah, that was just money that was going to their household. Set up a fake LLC, get the money right quick, and let's pay off our student loans and stuff like that. That's what that was, in my humble opinion, allegedly. I'm not saying that for 100% certainty, but let's keep on going. Bush began making payments to her longtime lover less than 2 weeks before her unoccupied vehicle was shot at in St. Louis in January 2022. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Somebody got beef with that. The extreme far left did not return messages, but declared in the 2021 CBS interview that despite advocating to defund police, she needs private security because she faced death threats. That's what I just showed you earlier. You'd rather me die? Rhetorical question, but whatever. Now let's get into some of the more fine fine details, shall we? Ocasio-Cortez is second among squad members in campaign security spending, shelling out $272,914.67 since taking office in 2019. Now, here's my question. What's up with the disparity in the security spending? Okay, Cori Bush spent $730,000. AOC spent $272,000. So why is there such a large difference in the spending? Where is the money going? What is it being spent on? Can we get a tad bit of transparency or nah? Anyway, her expenses include nearly $2,000 for security system installations in her Queens and Bronx district offices, more than $20,000 on internet or digital security. What does that mean? I have no idea. $4,200 for office security equipment and $521 for what she noted in FEC records as security barriers. What, a wall? The same wall you say is racist at the southern border? Anyway, Ilhan Omar ranked third, spending $125,000 on security services since taking office in 2019. Running out the rest of the squad, Ayanna Pressley spent $64,000. Rashida Tlaib spent $20,000. Jamal Bowman spent $7,000. Greg Kassar spent $1,570, while Summer Lee has yet to document security spending. Both Lee and Kassar are freshman members who joined Congress in January. So there you have it. Very interesting. Hey, rules for thee, but not for me. You cannot have private security for yourself, meaning a firearm. You cannot have the police that you pay for with your taxes. But I, who I'm funded by taxpayers, I'm funded by you, the taxpayers. I get to have whatever I want. I can fund on the campaign money to my husband. I can fund on the campaign money into whatever I want and do whatever. This whole thing is ridiculous, but I'm not surprised. As I close, I want to say this. Shout out to AOC, Cori Bush, and all the rest of them for finessing their constituent, saying, hey, I'm anti-gun. Then go out there and pay $380,000 to a pro-gun Second Amendment security firm. Hey, I'm anti-gun. I'm anti-police. Then spend $200,000 on private security. This whole thing is bogus. It's ridiculous, but I'm not surprised at all. As always with these people, do as I say, never as I do. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your opinion about what's going on here with the squad and their spending on security? Is it hypocritical? Is it normal? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. It's very hypocritical, of course, but it's also normal. This is what they do. I'm not surprised, not in the least bit. This is what I expect from these kind of people. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.